live for the Power Chat series for the Legends Cup post show. Our guest today is not new to the Power Chat series. This is, I think, your second time coming on, Chris.
Yeah, this is. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Excited to have you back on. If anyone doesn't know, we wrap up Point Fighter Live approved events with the Power Ring winner or someone who performed really well, their students did really well. So we have Chris on today here. Chris, why don't you tell everybody how you did?
Hey, yeah, we took a team collectively, about 50 people down there to the Legend Cup. This was our first time down there with Mr. Tony's tournament. It was actually a really, again, another really good tournament with good competition. The camaraderie was absolutely awesome. The brotherhood was amazing. What he's built there is just incredible, and I would definitely recommend in the future everybody experience that tournament. Like I said, we brought a team consisting of about 50 people, parents, competitors, coaches, and such. We came back with 30 Legend Cups. So our team did extremely well with the 13 competitors that we actually had. We came back with 13 first, 11 second, 4 third, 1 fourth, and 1 fifth. So we did overall really well. I'm very proud of my guys. They were very respectful and humble, and it was definitely a really good tournament.
They should be really proud, and it sounds like the first places outweighed some of the additional places too. That must have been really fulfilling for a coach.
It was fun. There's some work to be done, and like I said, for me to watch them win and go to these tournaments is a good thing. But for me, it's a little bit more than that. Watching their personal growth outside of that ring, not being scared to go up and talk in front of people, those types of things. Those are the reasons I attend tournaments. For me, it's not the victory. It's the personal growth that's allowed at those events to occur to make that growth happen.
What you said this was your first time going down to the Legends Cup. What was it that made you ultimately decide let's go to this one?
So actually, Mr. Tony Hassan, he's been becoming a very good friend of mine. I'm working with him very closely with the Pan American Internationals in Miami next month. So he had asked me and told me about his tournament. I was not familiar. I don't, like I said, I don't go and search because there are millions and millions of tournaments, it seems like yearly. So for a coach or another team to reach out, I'm more of the old school type. So to reach out to us was very respectful for me. So I decided in return to go, and it was a very good thing that we went. It was a very good tournament. The competition was fierce. Let me tell you that. Like them boys down there, they do know how to fight. I'll give them that. They sure do. But they did really good and gave us a run for our money. And we get to go back. We didn't win everything. Like I said, there's room for improvement. So getting to go to these types of tournaments and experience that high level of competition really helps my guys get ready for different events and stuff that they encounter. And to compete against different people, of course, in a different circuit is always unique and special. When you go against the same people every single tournament, it tends to get boring. I'll just be very honest. And then the kids they complain. They don't like competing against the same people. So it gives them an opportunity to do something different. So they enjoyed it very much. It is one that they raved about for sure.
Awesome. The Legends Cup competition was steep. It was fierce. What else would you sort of give feedback on the event in terms of the actual running of the tournament?
So I actually had the honor, Mr. Tony put me inside. I think I was inside of ring 2. We ran our division. When I tell you that this was an extremely hard group as far as working, they had it together. Like I think we finished our ring by 1:30. Our ring was completely done. Grands was rolling. It was, as far as proficient efficiency, they did really well with that. Like I said, my ring was, and I had the little guys and then the 12 and 13-year-olds. So our ring was a very steep ring, but we were finished. So the organization side, it was really good. I think it was an amazing tournament. Truthfully, Tony did a very good job. We're excited for next year for sure.
Great. Chris, where is your school based out of again?
We're in Gilchrist County. We're in Bell, Florida. We're just where that lovely hurricane came through. So I wished we could have brought more competitors to Tony's tournament, like I explained before, but we're still in the recovery process ourselves, trying to get back together because we live in the Big Bend up here in Florida.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so I see you're at the karate school right now with students possibly, working out or kids there. So tell me a little bit more, just how your school is and your competition team as well.
So absolutely, get a little bit more personal. I'm actually at my middle school right now. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
the bell.
I
The bell just gave it
Yep.
away.
So I actually we are now teaching martial arts as an elective in middle schools in Levy County and neighboring counties. So, and I'll just give you just a little quick tour. We actually
Cool.
have an entire classroom set up where we
Wow.
get to.
That's awesome. I wish
So
that was a thing when I was in school.
yeah, absolutely. The kids enjoy it. So instead of them taking out their problems in between classes, they get to come in here and we get to fix it in here.
Awesome. That's really good. When did that start and how did you get involved with that?
So absolutely. I've been reaching out something that my teacher, Andy Horn, before he passed away, he started trying to reach out into local school districts. And I seen that he started to create a trend and a pattern. So I just pretty much took the same pattern that he had and then transcended a little bit. And here we are, and it's working. So I'm hoping within the next year or so that we can get back on track. Our karate school, our actual home dojo, is actually being rebuilt right now. But it's okay. We're resilient, and our team is very strong as far as perseverance is concerned. So I don't think that we're going to have a problem bouncing back. It's just like after every natural disaster, it takes a little bit of time, but we'll get back in the ball game here very soon.
Great. And you're lucky to be able to stay connected physically with the sport at in the middle school, and that's really cool to see. And I hope you're able to get into more. I don't know if you can spread yourself so thin, but more students would be able to take advantage of your teachings in the school day. That's really awesome.
So
Okay.
I'll go ahead and give you a little bit of good news really quick. I haven't released it yet, but I'll just go ahead and let you know we're actually in the process of creating a middle school team. So we're not only going to have our new team, but we're going to have another team that's sponsored by our school. So we're going to be
What?
able to attend a little bit more events, and it's going to be very exciting what we have going on. The sport is growing. It's a great time for it.
Well, talk about ways to find like team sponsorship and just to get people involved in great things outside of school as well, right? That's super
Absolutely.
exciting. Do you know when is that for something that people can get excited for next year?
And as a matter of fact, our team is consistent. I'm looking at our tournament team on our board right now. Our middle school tournament team consists of roughly 25 kids right now, just
Wow.
alone in our middle school kids. And we have roughly about 150 students of our own. So we're going to have a very big team going into 2024 for sure.
Great. Wow, that this should be a template. I don't know if I know for a fact that there are classes across the country in some states for martial arts, but I don't know of any educational schools taking teams. Do you?
Well, for us, it was not something that just came to us. It was something that we introduced and we had to get approved, of course. Everything comes with lengthy processes, but
School
they absolutely
boards and
absolutely, and with the school itself and the principals, and we just have a very good staff, a very good school, and a very good district that supports everything that we're doing. We started the program with just 4 or 5 kids, and we've grown it to almost 30, 40 kids now. So the middle school program is definitely taking off, and they really enjoy the competition realm and world too. So I think it's going to be a win-win for everybody.
that's really cool. Now you said earlier you're old school. You really appreciate how Tony went to you and invited your team. Can you tell me a little bit more about that mentality and deciding what of the hundreds of tournaments out there to support?
So absolutely. So with our team, at the beginning of the year, we go to our normal typical tournaments, which are in NASCA. But if a promoter or somebody reaches out, like Crystal Mercure did for the Gatlinburg tournament, or you had Tony who reached out to me for the Legend Cup, we will definitely take our team because that's just the thought process. If you have time to invest in coming to me and saying, "Hey, I would like your support with your team," not only is it a compliment to our team because you think that we have good competition and you would like us to have us there, but it's also a respect thing. I give respect type deal. There's a lot of really good people out there, but if they're too busy for you, well, then for me, that's just how I am. Everybody who knows me on the circuit knows that I'm that way. I support where the loyalty is, and it's something that has gone away, very far away, and I'm not afraid to call it what it is. I'm sorry, hold on. There we go. But as far as that's concerned, loyalty is very big with me. So if you're going to invest your time with me and my team, I'm definitely going to come and show you some support in return. Our students generally pick our tournaments. It's not something that I sit down with a pen and pencil. We go through what we see on Mat Action or on Uventex, and then the kids decide. A lot of these kids do not get to leave their communities. They don't get to leave even home really, because poverty, because of where they live, so different circumstances, not having both parents in the picture. There's a lot of things that play into effect on whether these kids can travel or not. So we provide them that avenue. We give them that opportunity. So I know there's one coming up in Arizona, close to the Grand Canyon. I talked to you last time. That is one that they're pushing very, very big. They want to go see the Grand Canyon. So if we can knock out something that they can go and visit and see and be an educational and actually be fun and get to compete at the same time, for us, it's a win-win. So it's not just the person per se, but it's also, it's a taken into account in whole, what's best for our team at that time.
Awesome. Yeah. Alex just commented saying that Ken Eubank of the Bluegrass Nationals, a very popular tournament, used to personally invite people. And I think that really means a lot. It shows that, you're appreciated, your time, your money, because you're asking parents to spend some money for these tournaments. It's appreciated for sure. Notes should be taken from promoters who maybe expect the turnout sometimes.
Mm-hmm. That's a very, very big difference, because with some tournaments, they're not cheap. And I'm not gonna name which tournaments are which, but we just went to a tournament at the beginning of, I would say in June, July of last year. That tournament for our people, my team alone, costed close to $25,000. So to take teams of a very large team event, it costs a lot of money. So if we're just going to be another number, or we're just going to be pushed off on the side, we're just not going to attend that event. That's how we are. I have a very big following as far as students with younger generation. I want them to see what's proper. Sometimes I believe that we have to transcend into the new society of what's happening, but a lot of the old school morals and values at which karate really was founded and began on is what I try to stick to, because it's good to have that foundation. It truly, truly is. It'll serve them for years and years to come.
Awesome. Yeah, especially when they're learning it so young in that formative middle school, elementary school age as well. Okay, so you had pretty much all great things to say about the Legends Cup. I also sometimes wrap it up with perspective. Was there anything you would have liked to see more or less of at this tournament?
So for me, I think and I think Tony would respect my decision. I think overall the tournament was a 5 out of 5. Truthfully, the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the awards, the trophies. Which I'm going to try to grab one really quick here. Those cups that he has, they are very pretty cups. They're not your typical just regular award. They took some time, so I'm very, very appreciative that it's not the typical just karate guy kicking. It's something that is just different, and the kids enjoy it. It's a lot easier to store too, by the way. So it's just better than the typical medals. I know a lot of them. A lot of my kids, and I can't speak for all, even some of my adults, the majority of them want either plaques or trophies. If that's a model for anybody to follow. But when it comes to medals, my kids are really truthfully worn out with the medals. The parents like it because of the ideal of space and conserving room. But when a little kid runs across the room and the trophy's just as tall as them, you should see the smile on their face is absolutely incredible. So for me, I look out what's best for my team. As far as perception, I think Tony did an absolutely amazing job with this tournament. I think the only feedback that I would give is maybe just a little bit more room with parking, which I knew that they had an event going on. They had a marathon going on at the same time. So I don't think that was necessarily his fault. It was just, there was a lot of things in that area going on at once. But overall, I think the actual Legend Cup was incredible, and we will definitely be back the following year.
Amazing. And I'm sure he appreciates that feedback, because it's always some different considerations that he's running around. And, it's great to just hear maybe next time he'll suggest a garage nearby just to alleviate some of those, concerns. So, okay, I appreciate your time, Chris. And you said you're going to be
Absolutely.
back. So I'm glad that this Point Fighter Live approved event was a success for you and your massive team, which seems to only, it's going to be growing.
So that's our plan. We're definitely going to get there. I'm hoping by the end of 2024 that we have some. I know we have a couple of sponsors, which I don't want to give too much yet. I'll do that on a different time because I don't want to intrude here. But I would definitely tell you that in the future, definitely look out for Sanse because we're going to be 200 strong. That is the
Wow.
goal.
Awesome. Super exciting. Well, I'm excited for the next time that you are our guest on the Power Chat series. And thank you, Chris, for telling us a little bit more about you and the Legend Cup.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you guys' time and congratulations to Tony on a very, very successful year. And I definitely look forward to it with my team for next year's event.
All right. Thank you. And thanks for watching. Stick with us later for the next tournament you might want to hit up out in the West Coast. Okay. All right. Thanks so much, Chris. I appreciate